have a high demand in summers. So now they have to plan the businesses like they can still provide a timely services to their customer for satisfaction. For businesses, again, same thing like applies like when they look at the work orders and the workforce management, when the business is running on specific periodics like summer, winter driven, they have to make sure everything is very well planned. Now, specifically, when we look at the service industry, they have one major requirement of inventory management. There are a lot of examples. There are some examples based out of Gujarat as well, where there were big brands and they failed just because they were not able to maintain their inventories. Like in service industry, you have to stock a lot of inventory to make sure your services is done on time. But parallelly, if the business does an over of inventory, that becomes a kind of quite a costly affair. Plus, in most of the service industry, it is related to field service. So you have people who are going out to different businesses for doing services. So the route they follow to do those services becomes very important as well. Performance tracking of technicians. So again, in service industry, it primarily works on specialized workforce, which are technicians. Like they are specialized to do some specific parts of servicing. Now you want to make sure you utilize them fully. And for that, if businesses are not having any system, it becomes again super challenging. When there are so much complexities are around inventory, around technicians, around workforce, businesses want to make sure like they have a very clear understanding of their performance metrics. And last thing is all the challenges which I have highlighted. Typically, businesses are using multiple systems. Like they might be using a different field solution, they might be using a different protocol solution. So these are major service industries challenges which we saw over the time. And when it comes to service industry and Odoo, these are a few numbers I want to highlight. So when we look at global market, the field service system is currently growing around 19.2%. So it is safe, and this is a very high growth rate which will continue till 2030. Now specifically when we look at Odoo has acquired around 9.75% market share overall in the ERP segment. And specifically Odoo in last few years have been growing like anything. So when we were working on service industry and when we see Odoo, we came up with an idea to build a solution on top of Odoo for the service industry. So this is where the Service Expand comes in picture. So this is a tailor-made solution which we have built on top of Odoo. So here like we have gone for a complex kind of service environments like when you look at big industries, B2B market, we have catered our solution around that specific market. So when we talk about Service Expand, these are the major features which we have covered. So when we look at B2B, they have a very complex equipments, like some equipments are multi-million-dollar products and they have to be serviced in a really nice manner. Sometimes those equipments are doing critical processes like food processing, chemical processing. So what we have done is we have built a whole module where complex equipments can be configured. There is a lot of settings which can be done around them. Inventory management. So again, as I mentioned, like for field service, inventory is the major thing. And typically, for example, if you look at Torrent Power, they use a lot of field service staff. They have a lot of cars, a lot of vans which are there in different places. They have a lot of inventory within them. Suppose there is a Torrent major substation in Narayanpura. If a car has gone out to satellite for servicing, if they don't have a part with them, now they have to come back to Naranpura, or that could be a way if they can get it from somewhere else. So there are a lot of complexities in this one. Compare this with, for example, companies who do plane servicing. So a lot of companies have parts for planes which come from US or Europe. Now, if inventory is not properly managed, it becomes a challenge for them. Streamline CRM and accounting. So this is where Odoo helped us a lot. So when we built this solution with Odoo, they give a very high level CRM facilities, accounting facility. Earlier, the customers whom we have worked with, they had to use a lot of standalone application, like they might be using Xero, Tally, different kind of systems for accounting. With Service Expand, we are able to give them everything under one system. Service work order. So this is again, when it comes to businesses, if they have a visibility in terms of what they need to service, when they need to service, they can plan their activities in a lot kind of planned manner. So this is where the service work orders come in picture. So what we do is the system, when we have the service contracts, service work orders are automatically created for annual. So businesses have visibility like this week, how many service orders are there which I need to service, and then they can plan their people accordingly. Fleet management. So this is again a very unique feature and something which has been liked by most of our customer. So here, like, they are able to configure whole of their fleet. Then those fleets can be specialized vehicles as well. So like some fleets, some vehicles, they are big size, so they can take some specialized material at client side, some are small. And based on their service work orders, they know like what kind of equipments the client has. Like some of the equipments client has are very specialized. So when that equipment is to be serviced through work order, the team gets an idea, they have to take this specific vehicle, this specific technicians on the side. This is where the most interesting things happen around SOPs and protocols. So most of the companies in B2B, they have higher equipments and they have a lot of protocols. So for example, if I have a big petrochemical machinery, if I am to service them, there are protocols, like they give you a manufacturing based protocols, like if you touch my machine, these are all the 20 steps which needs to be followed. Now when a serviceman goes, he needs to make sure they follow the protocol. So what we have done is we have completely dynamically created those protocols in the system. So now any technician who goes, they see everything in terms of what they have to follow as a protocol and what are the SOPs to be kind of followed. This system is very highly configurable. So each and everything feature which I have mentioned, customers have options to kind of configure those things, kind of customize as their needs are. So when we look at this whole solution, there are any service company, there are primarily two major things: their inventory and their staff. So when you are able to automate both of them, which we do through our solutions, there are possibilities like you can optimize your operation, and that ultimately gets into the profitability for the businesses. Now, differentiator for Service Expand. So specifically, like as I mentioned earlier, we chose Odoo to build this system. So everything is under one platform. Now, when we look at the history of how softwares have evolved, in early days, it was a world of big systems. Like people would want big systems, everything in it. Then later on came a time where people started adopting to various different IT solutions, and then they would integrate it. Now again, due to the technology challenges, due to integration challenges, due to people challenges, people are now again moving back to centralized systems. So nowadays, people follow they keep one central system, then they build systems on top of that system. And this is what we have done on this system as well. So we have built on Odoo, so obviously we had to make sure this system is upgrade safe. This is we have we can say, like, for instrument industry and B2B, we have one of the most comprehensive service module, and it's been built by our industry experts. So I want to present this brief customer success story. So this is one of our client based out of New Jersey. So it's called ACG, and they have over 40 years of experience in service industry, and they have over 1,000 plus scientific labs as their customers. So these are the labs. Each lab have kind of multi-million-dollar instruments which they service, and for them, and this is probably, I guess, a common challenge for most of the service industry company, is to make sure they can balance between quality, speed and cost. Because for business, if they just focus on quality and speed and not on operation, they won't be profitable. So they wanted to make sure they can do a fine balance between quality, speed and cost. And this is where we help them. So before we started working with them, they were on SAP B1. They tried over a year. They spent few $100,000, and they could not implement the system. Then we had a chance to implement Service Expand for them, and within 4 months we were able to kind of digitize all their operations. So these are some of the challenges which with which they came to us, and these are again the common industry challenges which I highlighted earlier. So one of the unique thing which they wanted was a skill-based technician assignment. So in a specialized industry, what happens, a serviceman has to take a lot of licenses, lot of certification. Like each serviceman would have to go to a lot of training to acquire a certificate, and only then they can do some of the instruments. So we had a chance to kind of implement the solutions for them. And this is the end result. So after 2 years, they have a kind of 25% increase in their repeat orders. And repeat orders only will come when customers are satisfied. This is the biggest advantage they have, which is a reduced inventory reservation of 30%. See, when the planning is not proper, what happens is people start stocking a lot. So this used to happen with them earlier, like a lot of people would keep a lot of stock in their fleets, which would ultimately make them buy more inventory. We were able to increase their customer satisfaction by 45%. The cost had also been optimized by 15%, and this is where they really like the solution. Like now they are able to maintain the performance accuracy of machines by almost 99%. And these are some of our other implementations. We have been working for Netherlands-based client for an ERP from version 8 to up to version 15, where we have helped them to go paperless on manufacturing, on different processes. Then we have a modular kitchen client in UK, again version 8 to version 15.